This is Not Just Making the Tea, the podcast which discusses the realities of our career and life choices whilst made at school and college. It celebrates the parts that haven't gone to plan as much as those which have. With every chat, we plan to explore what life skills there are to be learnt and how they can influence and help us to succeed. I'm your host, Rachel Price, founder of Amali.com, the career website for young adults. So firstly, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time out to listen to this podcast. I hope that you enjoy the experience and that you will continue to join me and my future guests on our journey. I really appreciate anyone who takes the time to listen, so please do send any type of feedback. I hope that you find these chats thought-provoking, entertaining, and hopefully they'll give you some positive vibes for your day. So on that note, let's get started with today's topic. Developing success habits. Psychologists estimate that 40% of all our behaviour is governed by habits, formed by our subconscious mind. In other words, we often run on autopilot. Much of our success or failure is down to our habits. Let's look at the habits of successful people. First, they tend to be early risers. Typically, adults need between 7 to 9 hours sleep per night. If you often feel tired through the day, take a look at your bedtime routine. Getting into the habit of going to bed and getting up at the same time every day. Even moderate sleep deprivation cuts the average person's response time by up to 50%, so aim for quality sleep. Point 2. High achievers make reading, learning and general self-development a priority. Aim to read at least one non-fiction book per month. Bill Gates, the former CEO of Microsoft, is said to read around 50 books per year. Expose yourself to new ideas and learn from other people's mistakes. Successful people are also willing to admit that they don't know everything. You can always pick up new skills and set a new course for the future. They are willing to analyse their failures and reframe them as learning opportunities. Point 3. Journaling. This can be a great tool towards self-improvement, as it helps you gain an insight to your strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses should also be considered as areas for improvement. You could aim for at least one 30-minute journaling session per week. Great time to get all your thoughts and ideas down on paper and clear your mind ready for the next week. Point 4. Along with getting enough sleep, regular exercise and a good balanced diet are key habits to form. They will provide you with the energy to get through the day. People who choose fruit and vegetable over high-fat options report higher productivity at work and study. Changing your diet entails breaking a lot of formed habits. For example, you may have formed the habit of reaching for an unhealthy snack mid-afternoon. You need to anticipate your personal pitfalls and come up with an alternative that doesn't take much effort. For instance, you could bulk buy healthy snacks to eat, or you could set an alarm on your phone to remind you to take a quick afternoon walk. You should also aim to get 30 to 60 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week. If you frequently feel overwhelmed whilst you are studying or working, you probably need to develop 2 new habits. Learning to prioritise your workload and tasks and saying no to unreasonable requests. Plan each day the night before, the upcoming week on a Saturday night, and a month a few days before the new month starts. Experiment with diary apps which also will allow you to write down your to-do lists, share your work with others, and remind you of upcoming events and deadlines. Set intelligent goals using the SMART acronym. So these are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Regular meditation and mindfulness exercises will give you the tools you need to maintain calm in a stressful situation. Stabilise your mood, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. Neither of these techniques are complicated, but they require consistency and practice to ensure that they become habits and that you shall gain the most from them. Begin by getting into the habit of meditating for 5 minutes each morning. After a few days, you can then increase this by a few minutes, working up to a 20-minute daily practice. Meditation is excellent for anyone who is anxious. Research has shown that 60% of sufferers feel markedly better after meditating regularly for 6 to 9 months. Do not try to change all of your habits at once, because you are likely to feel overwhelmed. It takes an average of 66 days for a new habit to stick. How about starting with just one habit, implementing for a couple of weeks, and then adding another? This method is commonly known as habit stacking. It allows you to make minor changes at a pace which suits you. Making these obtainable changes makes it more likely that they will become new, better habits which will affect your behaviour in a positive way. So that's our topic for today. I hope you found some points of use and interest. For more information, please go to amali.com and check out the Learning Hub. You'll find more resources for Success Skills 101. Please also go to amali.com and subscribe for updates and activities on topics aimed to help us be more successful. Thank you once again for listening. Keep safe and smile always.